as I started, we're gonna go over prop farming. My name is Joe. You got Patrick on the other end. I'll get into our introductions in a little bit. Um, so if you signed up for the webinar, if you remember correctly, obviously you did because you're here. The title said take 3,000, turn it into 10,000. You can actually do much more than that. We're gonna get into how prop farming and the capital side of things work, because essentially what you're doing, whether you're taking accounts from one company and trying to trade 5 or 10 of them or 5 different companies, it's completely up to you. Just to be clear, most people that end up prop trading go through what, at least in our experience lately, one of like 4 companies. There's more out there, but there's pretty much like 4 solid companies that have a lot of prop traders, and a lot of them come through our doors. And I'm going to show you some stats because we found some, and I think the stats were pulled specifically from a client of ours who has just went on her own and did a deep dive into prop trading in general over the last year. Now, mind you, she's also a phenomenal prop trader. But um, Patrick, who, for those of you who aren't already students of Patrick, has over 20 years of experience trading. He's got every series license you can think of and probably some you can't. Managed CTA, used to trade CDOs, used to trade on for Wachovia, I believe, as well. You've been teaching now for what feels like 20 years.
Feels like
And
50, but I think it's 20.
I feel like I've been doing this 20 years. With all that said and done, Pat has developed a method for using market profile and modified it a bit to come up with very specific regions and types of trades that are consistent, high probability, and focus on risk management. One of the things that you guys all have to take away from this webinar, if you're going to get into prop trading in general, if you have no risk management, you will go through 100 prop accounts by like easily, because you're just going to churn through renewal after renewal after renewal. If you have a risk management strategy, and this is what Pat focuses on probably most and more than anything really, is when do you know when to walk away, take the winners, take what you have, and not basically start gambling. Okay. He's taught thousands of people how to do this, and I would venture a guess that we probably have, just in the last year, close to 100 students that are prop trading.
And
Okay.
Joe, if and I'm not going to say a whole lot until the end, but I
Yep.
want everybody to understand something about this. If you don't have a method that is repeatable and someone holding you accountable, you're not going to succeed in this. And I'm going to tell you why. The participation, meaning volume, in the daily markets over the last several months have been absolutely atrocious. So if all of these people are supposed to be funded live real traders, thousands and thousands and thousands of prop traders, where's the volume?
Yep.
Because they keep doing what Joe said. They qualify for an eval, they blow up, they do it all over again, and they're in this death spiral of evaluation and very rarely, if ever, get to live because they don't have a method, they don't have patience, they don't have discipline, and they don't have somebody keeping them accountable and telling them to quit while they're ahead today. So keep this in mind when Joe is presenting this webinar.
Well, and to take it one step further, right? You have all these people that are going through these prop accounts, these evals, and blowing them out. And what do you quickly get after you blow out an account, or every other month you see, hey, here's an eval account, 70, 80, 90% off. The reason why they do that is because they need to keep you in the markets, right? And which is fine. I mean, because eventually you don't know how long it's going to take you. But a lot of times people have to find their own path. I've been doing this a long time. I've been in the education space 10 years, financial industry over 20. Okay. Yes, I'm old enough to have worked over 20 years. I know you guys all see this devilishly handsome young man. But I've been doing this a long time, and I've seen it. I've gone through it myself. I've gone through prop accounts. Like I get stubborn just like the rest of everybody else. That's the reason you guys are here. At the end of the day, when you're going through and you're taking an eval, your goal isn't to just get to the sim funded state. Your goal is to get paid out, right? Whether it's one account or 10, doesn't matter. If you could do it on one, you could do it on 10. And that's what we're going to focus on because the strategy, the method, everything is centered around risk management. And once you have it on autopilot, so to speak, you can burn through 10 accounts and get paid out, even if it's $1,000 on one account and multiply that by 10. And that's what we're going to focus on today.
And Joe,
Okay,
if
so
I may for a moment, Joe, I
yep,
want
I'm just going to have the disclaimer up while you're
to
talking so
I
people
just want
know
to
that.
clarify something that Joe had said. They don't necessarily need you in the markets. They need you to keep paying for their product. Okay. They're going to have a bunch of people who consistently pay and pay and pay and pay and never get paid out.
Yep.
We've got many dozens of students who consistently get paid out over and over and over again. It's a law of averages with them
On multiple accounts.
on multiple accounts, not just one, and on multiple sets of accounts with different prop trading firms. And Joe's going
Yep.
to get to that now, and I'm going to shut up.
Yep. So, a couple things to take note. Prop trading for the most part is pretty much widely accepted. It's accepted everywhere. Like go on YouTube, go on Instagram, go on Discord. You're gonna see people set up these prop trading groups and talk about prop trading on a regular basis, but it's pretty much unregulated. It's like the Wild West. Now, mind you, there are probably a handful of people or companies that have been there since the beginning, and we're one of them. Early on, just in full disclosure, Pat was not a big fan of prop trading. He was, hey, if you can't do it with your own money, you can't do it. Well, I have always been a fan of prop trading. I didn't know a lot of it early on, and then I really got into it and did a couple deep dives with not only Apex, but there's Top Step. There's also Take Profit's a big one. Now there's another one, Lucid. Depending on where you live in the world, you may or may not be able to prop trade. There's different, subsets of rules. But here in the US, there's a lot of people prop trading now, like hundreds of thousands of people prop trading. And the good ones, the people that are actually getting paid out aren't doing it on one account. They're doing it on multiple accounts. And like Pat said, multiple accounts at multiple firms. Now we have, like I said, students that come from all walks of life that have learned Pat's method that were either former floor traders or retail traders themselves. They operated a CTA or CPO. These are commodity pools or trade advisors. Some people even like I'll take Bubba as a perfect example. Somebody mentioned Bubba. Bubba, if you don't know, he was a floor trader, just like Pat. They weren't trading small amounts of money. They were basically running, commercial trading or hedge funds. Um, and then we have other prop traders, people that have done very well in their own right that would earn payouts, blow accounts, start over, earn payouts, blow accounts, start over, and they got tired of the blowing the accounts and having to start over. That they ended up finding us, and now they're consistently profitable. One lady that I'm thinking of in particular, who Rhonda Pat works for, well, she works again. She's retired like two or three times, but they keep so, pulling her back in. She's like the Godfather. They keep pulling her back in, throwing more money at her to train. She trains people and the safeties of like driving a school bus. She's running meetings. She prop trades in the morning. She doesn't prop trade on one account or two accounts. She has like 12 or 14 accounts and she trades in 5 block increments. So the reason why she does that is more for her personal experience is it's easier for her to manage. And then we have another student like Joe who she trades 10 at a time, right? So you're gonna find that when you go down this road, you can start with one and add and you're gonna add as many as you feel comfortable trading. We have software that you can put on all these accounts at the same time and run them all at the same time. And you can trade 10 accounts all at the same time with the exact same trade at the exact same time. It just comes down to your comfort level. And Pat, feel free to jump in too if there's anyone else that you can think of. But as far as prop trading and why we kind of got behind this. You guys may have seen this. This was God, this was probably like 7 months ago now that this article came out. So there was a guy in Nashville, 22-year-old kid, making between 30 and $90,000 a month prop trading. Now, I'm not going to say that you're going to get to that level. You may not. Okay. But he was interviewed. He was on the Ramsey show, and they want to know, why are you prop trading? Okay. Why not just use your own money? Well, why use your own money if somebody else is willing to give you money to do it? This is how the rich get richer. They don't use their own money, they use other people's money. And when you learn how to use other people's money to trade and you're successful at doing it, you could take your money and you can put your money into real estate or other things that you truly wanted to. So, in addition to prop trading, this guy he basically took profits and developed his own real estate portfolio. Whatever you like to do, we've all been there. Hey, if I had just an extra couple $1,000, if I had an extra $10,000, I would do this, I would do that. Well, you can get it. Why not prop trade and use it to your advantage? Because at the end of the day, they're going to give you, in most cases, 90% of the profits, and they're going to keep 10%. Would you be okay if somebody kept 10% of the profits if they put up all the money in the risk and they paid you out 90%? So for every $1,000 you made 900, they made 100. Would you guys be okay with that? I would. Um, Here's an example of Rondo, like I mentioned. So this was a screenshot that she sent us, that this was the 12th account that she passed. She's done two more since then. So she likes the $50,000 accounts. And for those of you that were on last week's webinar, we're a big fan of the $50,000 accounts because it actually gives you a bigger bang for your buck in terms of your loss limit. But we've had people go right to $250,000 accounts. It's a higher profit target. And the one thing I'm going to tell you, no matter who you use for prop trading, you want to make sure you understand the rules for that prop firm. Okay, Pat, these are just some examples. So if you feel free to chime in here. These are just certificates that people sent us. So like, she has a Wealth Charts account. She has Tradeovate. There's Blue Knox, which is another one that's growing in popularity. But the point is, if you're gonna do it, start with one. And if you want to make a lot of money, you start adding prop accounts and you make it a repeatable process.
Well, to Joe's point as well, a
Can you guys all hear
50,000.
Pat okay? You
Yeah,
sound a little faint,
can
just
you
to
guys
me.
hear me in there? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So to Joe's point, a $50,000 account costs you how much after you have qualified through your eval, Joe, per month?
Depends on the firm, but if you get one from Apex that's 90% off right now, let's say it costs you $50.
Let's just go a little further. Let's say it
Okay.
costs you 150 a month. You're using $50,000 of investing power. How about go take 50 grand of your own money and stick it in there, and now it's dead money and you can't move it because you've got to keep it in there to cover your margins for the size that you're trading.
Yep.
Now do that by 10. Okay. So the leverage is phenomenal. Allow somebody else to take the risk. And you want to know why they want to take the risk for you guys? You think they're wonderful, just scary, wonderful people? No, because they're counting on you to fail because they know that 99% of people don't have a method, they don't have patience, they don't have discipline, they don't have somebody keeping them accountable.
Yep.
That's why.
So, and that takes us right into the next slide. So, we're not just here to tell you about how great everything can be. What I want you to understand, and this is what I was talking about before. This is one of our students went out of her way and she's building out a prop trading business framework for herself. For one, she's in Canada. She's awesome. She did a deep dive. This is right from Top Step themselves in 2025. So out of all the people who went to sign up for an eval, and get an account and start going through their trials. I forget what specific term that they use. So they get an eval, 16.8% advanced to a funded level. Out of that 16%, 33%, 33.3% of those people actually get a payout. I want you to pay attention to this number right here. 0.71% of all those people who went to funded status, and this is sim funded, who got payouts, 0.71% of them actually made it to live funded status. So what does that mean? Okay. So even going down further, you sign up for an eval, you pass it, you go to what's called sim funding. Sim funding means you're still trading in sim, but they're willing to pay you out because what they're looking for are people who are consistent and can actually make them money on live accounts. So they're willing to pay people out, and they do so on a regular basis. But out of all the people that signed up for Top Step, only less than 1% of them actually got live accounts. So think about that for a second. And what does that mean as a trader? Does it mean that holy shit, it's really hard? Well, yeah, it is difficult trading in general if you don't take it seriously. But so is driving a truck. So is any other job if you don't take it seriously. At the end of the day, you're doing this to make money. So if you're going to sign up for something, take it serious, learn a strategy, and understand how to control your risk, how to keep what you make, how to live the fight another day. Unless you got money to keep blowing, right? You're going to go through these cycles where if you don't take it seriously, you're just going to keep buying evals. And that's not what we want for any of you. And that's why we're all here today, because at the end of the day, you're here to learn how to make money from prop firms. And it's 100% achievable for everybody that's in this participant list right here that signed up for this webinar. All you have to do is have the right strategy in this and put a little bit of effort in it and get out of your own damn way. Now, the way you do that is you have to have a clear process, right? You have to apply the process. And the way that you go through our process, when you sign up and you're a student of ours, every trade you take, you're going to send it in. Pat's going to have a live trading room. He's going to give you feedback on that. Our goal is to get you through the evaluation process and to get funded. And it's not even because like we have this secret sauce that we developed specifically for prop traders. This is just something that was developed along the way by Patrick many moons ago to help people get profitable trading their own money. It just turns out that his money management techniques apply perfectly, or beautifully, I should say, probably the best ever, with funded accounts and prop trading, because it is the art of knowing when to quit. Because when you learn to trade correctly, it doesn't mean more time in front of your computer. It's actually less time in front of your computer. The more time you spend in front of your computer is the learning process versus the trading process. Does that make sense to everybody? And then ultimately, when you do it and you're consistent, that's when you start earning payouts. Now you get a payout on one, you want to multiply that payout. And that's where adding another prop account, another prop account. And the reason why we do that is because Pat, and I think you said this in last week's webinar, there's a noticeable difference in the way people trade when they go from 3 contracts to 4, right? Something about the numbers and seeing the numbers. And if you're one of those people that when you see the dollar amount going up and down drastically, it messes with your mind, change it from dollars to ticks. But there's a noticeable difference that I've even noticed over the years that when people trade 3 contracts, they're just more confident than when they get to 4 or 5. And here's a dirty
Generally,
little secret. Prop
yeah,
firms
generally,
will,
Joe, when people get past 3, they lose their freaking minds, even though it's the exact same trade.
right.
And what happens here is, and this is just me speaking to thousands of people over the last 20 some odd years. Sometime in their life, they're living in some phase of their past life where X amount of money was the most money they made in a week. They see those numbers flash in front of their eyes in seconds. They lose their freaking minds. They cannot function. They freeze. They go into black mode and they can't do anything. But if you chop it down to 2 contracts or to 3 contracts, They never had this problem. So why do you guys care if you're trading 4 contracts versus 3 when you can do it in 3, 4, 5 accounts simultaneously, take 1 trade a day and you're done? There's more than one way to do this. And you're not putting out this enormous freaking outlay of funds to lock up and trap yourself in a futures account.
Yep, 100%. So, and I know that there was a question. We're going to take questions at the end. But another thing too, when you get into prop trading, it's going to tell you every account that you set up, it's going to tell you you could trade X amount of mini contracts or X amount of micro contracts. Just because it says you could trade 6 accounts or 6 contracts doesn't mean you should. Or 50 micros doesn't mean you should. At the end of the day, you're going to be much better off if you are just simply trading in 2 or 3 lots and doing it across multiple accounts. Because what happens is if you have a loss, and they're going to happen. So just so you know, we're not telling you you're going to win every single trade. That doesn't happen. That's not realistic. Okay. But when you have a loss and you have a loss on 6 contracts versus 2, now you have 1 or 2 less trades that you can do in that prop account before you reach the status where you get auto liquidated. And Pat, correct me if I'm wrong. You are having everybody basically trade multiples in the micros right now. And do you
Correct.
want to explain why?
Yeah, sure. Here's the reason why. When you look at a $50,000 account, it's going to say something to the effect of, you can trade up to 10 minis. Okay. So let's look at our max downside loss for before you blow out. I think it's something like 2,500 or $3,000. Let's just say that it's that way across the board. Well, what's the amount of money that you need to make 5 trading days to get funded? 300. So why the hell are you trading 10 contracts? They want everybody swinging for the fences so you bust out. The best way to do this, use freaking micros. Okay? Achieve your goal. When you achieve your goal consistently in one account, you can prop farm, you can add accounts, and you can do the same damn thing on one trade over 5 accounts. Retire that account for the day, get your new 5 accounts, go to your next pro. Do the same damn thing over and over and over again when you're taking a max risk trade in micros that is what? 1/10 of your max risk loss before you get busted in your eval account.
Yeah.
This is what people
And
don't understand. And the vast majority of people don't even think about this. All they see are the bright lights, the big city, the huge casinos in Vegas with the bright lights. I'm going to make $1 million. And 99% of those people go home broke and in debt. That's what
and
happened.
smelling like cigarettes.
And smelling like cigarettes.
So I don't know. Can you still smoke in casinos? I don't even know.
Correct, Steve Yetman. Yes. This is what the whole
So
methodology is based around.
so essentially you're operating and look at it this way. If you have 10 accounts, wouldn't it be better to make $1,000 on each account and make an extra 10 grand than blow all 10 of them out at the same time because you got greedy? And if you try to get multiple accounts and say, all right, these 5 I'm going to go long and these 5 I'm going to go short, and one of them or 5 of them are bound to hit, guess what? Their AI tools are going to capture that and they're going to see that you're trading against yourself and they're going to basically they're going to kick you out of the program and you're going to have to start all over again. So they won't let you get cute with it and trade against each other. It's actually written in the rules. That's why it's important to understand the rules, but also not just with the prop firm, but with the methodology and the risk management, because that will keep you in the game and ultimately get you paid. And that's what we want. So some of the downsides, obviously, like if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. The reason why most people fail is simply between the ears. Everybody, and this right to Pat's point, everybody's looking for those home runs. For those of you familiar with baseball, you probably heard this last week. You hit singles and doubles in trading. You very rarely will hit a home run. And if you do, be grateful and thank your lucky stars because something happened that just all the stars lined up and you caught a nice massive windfall. But guess what? There's consistency rules that are also that come into play with prop trading that you need to know about. So if your average trade, let's say, is $350 and you have a consistency rule, you can't let a runner go up $2,000 to $3,000 in a single trade. You're going to actually shoot yourself in the foot. Part of it is understanding the rules again, and you're going to hear me say this time and time again. Understanding the rules with the prop firm. If your consistency rule is 50%, understand what that means. Read about it on the prop firm's website. They will explain it to you. A lot of times people are doing videos now to show you what that means. But when you're trading, when those windfalls happen, you have to be cognizant of that. Okay, if my average win is $300 and I get up and I'm up 1,000, now I'm over 3 times what my average is. What is that going to do to my likelihood of getting funded, or is that going to change my average trade winning to where now I'm resetting the clock and I got to go an extra 3, 4, 5 more days before I can even get to a payout status?
And Joe, if I may, one of our
Yep.
clients, Wendell, he already has a set of funded prop accounts at Legends. He then went to take profit. His first trade, he screwed up on his eval and he made $1,900. You want to know what that means for his consistency rule now? He's got to make at least $1,000 every single freaking time to get funded over the next five trading days or whatever it were that their qualifications were. So over the next 10 trading days, he did it. And on Saturday, he got his authorization, or I should say Friday, July 10. Congratulations. You have just upgraded to pro successfully and ready for trading. Do you think
Yeah.
he's going to allow that to happen again? No freaking way.
And it is crazy, Mark, to your point, to have to close a profitable trade. But part of it too is understanding that, you know, they don't necessarily want everybody to trade. Those windfalls are great. They don't happen often, and when you can catch them, that's fantastic. It's better to catch something like that when you've already reached funding status and you've got a payout because then you're that much closer to live status. So it sucks to have to close a trade out when you're up $1,000, but you'd close it out if you drop down $1,000, right? You'd have to have stop losses. You also have to have those kind of profit targets in play. You also got to be cognizant of your trailing stop, and if you're not an all in all out type of person, you're trailing your winners, right? So you can't let winners come back too far back against you. There's a lot of rules. You just need to understand them. And what you'll find that going through our program, very, very infrequently do you put yourself in a position where something like that happens. So
Well, Mark,
you'll
Mark,
find most prop firms, the rules are very similar. Okay. Um, uh, what you can do is like understanding the trailing stop and the whatever the consistency rule. You can actually throw them on like an Excel doc or Google Sheets right next side by side so you can see, and they're going to be pretty close to the same. The industry is coming together where a lot of the rules are pretty uniform. Um, and once you get cruising, you'll find that you'll learn them pretty quickly.
now, Mark, also understand something. That's the deal you made. You're not putting $50,000 of your money into an account. You're paying in expenses roughly, let's say $150 to $200 a month to keep 90% of your profits. I
Yep.
don't know of anybody who would not do that. And now that you can add accounts, you can do this multiple accounts with one trade. Okay. And Mark, we go over all this stuff with you because let's say if you decide to join us and you come in the room after, let's say you go through the method, you're comfortable with the method, and you're ready to go to prop. I'm going to say, who is your prop firm? I'm going to pop up their rules on the screen and we're going to go through every single freaking one of them before you even start to qualify so you know exactly what you have to do. And that's how you're going to trade. Okay. I can tell
Yep.
you for a fact, one of our clients, Joe, who has separate 10 accounts, separate sets, he constantly had to shut trades down that were profitable to get paid. Well, what's he getting paid? He's getting paid $6,000, $7,000 on each 10 set of accounts. 90% of the payout. Do you think he really cared? No.
Yeah. That's a good problem to have. So if anyone ever questions, well, why do I want to be a funded trader? Why not just trade my own money? And you absolutely can trade your own money. And actually, one of the examples we're going to show you today is somebody who's trading their own money. And it's just a matter of showing you the type of trade. So whether you go the prop route or and you stay there, or you go to fund your own account and you just want to trade your own account to keep all your profits, just understand when you trade your own account, 100% of the risk is now on you, right? And if you go the prop firm, yeah, you're going to give up a little bit of the profits, but they're taking all the risk, right? And then, if you fail evals and you got to sign up, let's say it costs you $200 a prop account and you blow through four of them, okay? Or five of them. Let's just say five of them. Cost you $1,000. Well, if you have $5,000 in your trading account and you lose $200 a day for 5 days, you're down $1,000, right? Same thing. But the difference is you keep trading your account, or you lose 300 one day, 300 the next day, 300 the next day, 300 the next day. Now you're down 1,200, right? You'll never be down more than 1,000 if it was a $200 prop account and you blew through five of them. But if you have 3 or 5 consecutive days of $300 losses, you're down $1,200, and there's no way for you to get that back unless you trade more. And what's the risk? You can lose everything, right? So it's understanding the leverage you get with a bigger account as well allows you to have a bigger upside potential. And just so you know, just this will tie into the net worth. Joe, who Pat is talking about, has a pretty high net worth, like millions. Whereas some of our other people probably haven't even made $1 million in their lifetime yet. So it doesn't matter where you come from, what walk of life, everybody that trades should consider becoming a funded or a prop trader. Period. Just gives you better leverage. It's not to say that you have to, but it just makes the most sense right now. Um, so we did cover some of this. So some of the things that you consider when you're prop trading. Your daily loss limit. Some of them have a trailing stop versus a daily, end of day. What your trailing loss limit is, your consistency rule, your max number of positions, profit goals, and anything else that is in the fine print. You want to make sure, like for instance, how many days out of the week do you need to trade? Are there certain times you're allowed to trade? Once you understand that, you follow the system, you'll find that Pat's method and the way that we teach it, none of this will become an issue. It is already factored into the style of trading that we do. Okay. So this is an example of legends. So some of the pricing on their sheet and their website may have changed a little bit, but you can see price ranges from $165 to $535 a month. They too will do 70% off, 80% off, 90% off. Whatever it is, just know to get $50,000 in capital, it's less than $200 a month. Apex, I just got a text message actually probably an hour or two ago that Apex is doing another a flash sale, $50,000 intraday all in, no activation fees, $49. So you can get a $50,000 account with no activation fee. What does that mean? When you pass your eval, they don't charge you a secondary price to turn it into a sim funded account. This literally came in at 2:40 Central Time, my time. I wasn't going to talk about it in the webinar because I didn't know about it until 2:40. Um, here's what this is Apex. So a couple of things that I mentioned, they got their end of day trailing on a $50,000 account with no activation fee. So that promo that I just read to you, no activation fee. If you look at here, you could trade 6 minis, 60 micros, profit targets $3,000, $109. Right now you can get it for $49. Or you can buy a 5 pack. So Apex has just changed their website. So just so you know, we do not have any skin with any of these we're not getting any kickbacks or anything like that. We're not an affiliate agreement with them. If you go and get Apex, great. If you get somebody else, that's fine too. Just know that um, if you want software and stuff like that that we're gonna see on some of the charts I show you, a lot of that is built for NinjaTrader, some for TradingView, but most of these firms are going to allow you to use NinjaTrader. I highly recommend it. It's easy to use, but you have a 30-day window to pass these accounts, right? They changed their rules. They used to do it where you would pay monthly and you take as long as you can to pass, as long as you don't meet that drawdown. Everything now is a 30-day operating window. Okay? Look at it this way. $200 a day over the course of 22 trading days, or around 20 trading days a month, is $4,000. That's if you just average $200 a day. That is not hard to do when you're trading multiple instruments. We look at 6 different instruments every single day. 4 of them are usually pretty active at the same time. And I'm going to show you an example of somebody who had 3 trades. Pat, those trades were from today, right?
Yes,
The
they
ones that you sent
were.
me this morning?
Yep.
This morning. Yeah.
I'm
3 trades, 3 different accounts. His total day, you'll see the results. So understand that it's okay if you don't pass it in the first 30 days and you have to sign up for another one. A lot of times you get a deal. It's not difficult to pass these evals in 30 days on $50,000 accounts. So $3,000 profit targets, your max drawdown is 2,000. And they tell you right on the website where you are in relation to that goal. Okay? So, couple things to note. There are news and some daily cycles and things that we do not trade. Um, for instance, FOMC minutes, if there's going to be some sort of red dot news, is what we call it, that comes out in the morning. The prop firms also don't want you to trade those, so you want to make sure you're out of whatever trade that you're in a few minutes before, because the markets could go haywire. And we don't trade during lunchtime. Lunchtime is not a good time to trade. So whether you're in New York lunch or Chicago lunch, the volume just dissipates so much, it's not worth trading. And then as far as the types of strategies, let me go back. The trades that we're going to go over today are going to be predominantly reversals and inverses. Those are the trades that happen the most time. Gap fills will happen at the open. It doesn't matter which trade you're doing, reversal, inverse, gap fills. The key is just consistent, steady systems in place to make sure when you take a trade, you have your profit target and your stop loss set, and you follow the system. Plain and simple. Pat, feel free to add anything else here because I'm going to jump to the next slide, which is going to have some um, our most recent trade results
No,
from our students,
just
mind
keep
you.
going.
So we keep track of every trade that our students send in, win, loss, break evens. And so far this year, we have 1,720 student wins versus 318 losses and 163 break evens. That's a 78% win percentage. I know for a fact last week it was under 78% because it was 77%. And I said there's no way that it's going to sit that high. We typically will fall in that 71 to 75 range year over year from 22, 23, 24, 25. You can see it's pretty consistent. Well, this year so far, it's been even more consistent. 6 months through the year, and we're at 78% win percentage from our students. Think about that. 78% of the time they're winning trades. And every student, when they go through the process, are to send in trades because when you learn your first trade, you won't graduate to that next trade, so to speak, or we're not going to just push you through just because you're sending in trades. You need to show consistency and the ability to understand the reversal before you're going to get the inverse. And then you're going to have to understand those before you're going to get into money management and learn how to do a gap fill. The whole idea isn't to just push you through, it's to teach you how to do this to where it becomes a consistent habit. Okay. Now, the I got this. The examples that we're going to show you. So some of them are from 2 days ago. are yesterday, and some of them I believe are from this morning. So this is a prop account. I don't know specifically who sent it in. That's not important. So I'm going to explain on the screen what we're looking at first, and then Pat, you're going to explain the trade. So everyone see these little highlighted, they're like a yellowish or off yellow ranges on the black chart here. Those are called high volume areas or HVAs. Those are published every single night. They're good for the next trade day for all of our students. And if you have NinjaTrader, we have software that can actually plot it right on your screen for you. And the bars that you see that are red and green are tick-based bars. In most cases, depending on the market, they might be 610 ticks. They could be 377. We'll give you the settings. We'll give you the tick settings. But these are open, high, low, close, tick-based bars that we use to base our entries off of. Now, this is on a Dow trade. It was a reversal long. And then, Pat, why don't you break down the actual trade, the entry, the exit, and what everybody's looking at here?
So first and foremost, everybody keeps hearing me speak about you got to have a method. It's got to be repeatable over and over and over again. You've got to be consistent. These yellow areas are high volume areas. I draw these every night and publish them at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. These are where 95% of the trades that our clients take for the overnight, the pre-market, and the following day. So all you have to do is really wait for the methodology to set up. The market opened where that's identified by the vertical purple line. That's the open of the market in the Dow. The market opened, it sold off slightly, and then it started heading up. Now, you can see where Joe's pen is right there. You had what is called a step 3 sideways movement. That is a fight between buyers and sellers creating a resistance point. It broke through it. It made a new high. It came right back down to that area. Resistance became support. Scott took the trade up $380. Live real money in a prop account.
Okay. So that's one example. And then here's another example. So this one is a little bit bigger, but different market. This is the MNQ. And then here, just a reminder, these are your HVAs inside these yellowish zones. Now his bars are different, and then you got some of them that have lit up different colors. So Pat, why don't you break this one down, including the software aspect?
Sure. If you look to the left-hand side of the screen where the market is going sideways, you're trapped in a range. You really don't want to take a trade inside of that range because you have literally price action on both sides of the trade. The market then broke down. It went to the bottom of the HVA. It reverted back. You had a green bar, which using our software would tell you that is signaling a long trade with enough reward to risk to take the trade, which means if that swing bar in the micro NASDAQ is 20 points, there's at least 20 points of reward to your left to take the trade. You would look to take the trade. Well, what happened? The bars then turned white. You never got pulled into the trade. You would be disqualified immediately. The market then reverted up slightly, headed down, made a brand new low. Then the market came right back to that high volume area where support became resistance, threw out a red bar, which our software identifies as a sell signal to go short, where there is at least enough reward to risk to take the trade. Now, here's something else that I want you guys to see. The lowest low of this move, you got a green bar against a high volume area. You could have taken that long also, but at that point of the day, we were trading below the previous session's low, telling you that sellers were in control. So John looked for a short, and that's what he took. Could he have taken a long? Absolutely, he could have. It would have just been with half his contract size, which then he has to ask himself, I am prop trading. I'm trying to make the most money possible. Is it really worth my time to take a half contract size counter trend trade or wait for the short where sellers are in control? That's what John chose to do. John took the trade, 3 contracts up $161.50 live real money on that trade. prop
On the
account,
micro NASDAQ,
micro NASDAQ.
which if this was on the mini NASDAQ, would have
That's
been 16.
$1,610.50.
Yep. So, and his total trade profit for the day is 233.50. And what was that magic number to get to 4,000 a month?
200.
200. So he's ahead of schedule.
And by the way, he's already live and he's been live
Yeah.
forever. He's
So
actually in the room right now.
here's oh, is that Johnny P?
Yeah, he's in the room. John
I
John
gotcha.
Hutch.
Oh, Hutch. Okay. All right. So here's another example. Now this one is a reversal long. This one's on gold, and this individual did it in his live account, not a prop account, his live account. I crossed out his account number so people don't see it. He has been in Pat's program now. He came back. He's for maybe a
12
month.
years.
I know, but how long's he been back? A month?
He's been back less than 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Okay. So this was a gold reversal long. Now, to me, when I see this, it looks like he jumped the gun a little bit. But why don't you break this one down for us as well?
Sure. What it's actually identifying is where he got long. Okay, so he actually got long where he should have. But if you look to the left of the chart, the market starts where at 4107, it sells off, it sells off, it sells off. None of the HVAs gave him a valid entry until the final one at the bottom. He took the HVA trade, he went long. Remember something, guys. All of these levels are drawn the day before or are sitting there for days prior. The market sold off. It stopped at the bottom of the high volume area. He took the trade, live real money up $430.
And he did this on one contract.
That's it.
And so again, he's been trading a long time. Came back to us because um he started a company and he was out of the game for a while, and it's like riding a bike. He picked it right back up. So here's another person. Now this is a prop account, so we're going to show you a series of 3 of them. Okay, so looking at this one, yeah, it's a $54 profit. Not a lot of money. This is on the micros. Okay, but consider in the minis, this would be a $540 trade, but this is one of 3 in less than an hour. This is this is from this morning.
Now, this is Scott again, who was the first. He was the first trade that we showed. What happens? The market opens. Micro gold. The market heads up. Makes a new high. Reverts back down to the bottom of the high volume area. He took it in micro gold, live real money account and legends, up $54. Go to the next one, Joe.
Yep. This is an ES trade.
ES now in the mini with 2 contracts. The market opens at the purple line, hits the HVA, stops, rejected. That's resistance. Hits it again, rejection, breaks through, makes a high. He went long. He's now up $301 live real money in that same prop account. Go to the next one, Joe.
All right, and
This
here's
is the
the Dow.
Mini. 2 contracts. The market opens, hits the bottom of the HVA, takes off like a freaking rocket. Hits the top HVA, the bottom. This is known as an inverse. He took a reversal short. 3 for 3 today, up $941. Live real money in his prop account. He stopped at that point.
And just so you guys know, each trade that he did was no more than 2 contracts. And he did $941. Would you guys take that? Now, this is what's going to make trading multiple accounts easy. So the software, and I'm going to go back to an example that somebody used the software. Okay, so real quick. The one that had this was the easiest one to see. So the software that lights up the bar green or red is called the executioner. There are two modes to the executioner. You can trigger it to go long or short, long, inverse short, reversal long, reversal short, or you could put it in auto trade mode and it will read those edges and it will trigger a trade on its own.
And
Okay?
all you have to do is choose whether to take it or not. If you don't want to take it, you shut it off, you cancel it.
Start it or stop it. Another software we have actually plots those high volume areas on your NinjaTrader. So instead of going into the campus library every night, jotting down where those ranges are, and then going into your highlight region Y and selecting it on NinjaTrader and plotting it yourself, we have software that does it for you. When you have software, it makes you more efficient and it makes it more accurate for you. Because these markets, especially if you're trading, say, the micro NASDAQ, tend to move pretty quickly. And we've had people tell us in the past that's, like it's scared them off from trading futures because they thought it moved too quickly. Well, we have a solution for that. The software moves faster than the hand. So when a bar closes, it's eligible. The software triggers a trade. It's going to have the entry sitting there waiting. When it gets into a trade, it's going to put your profit target and your stop loss out immediately. I've had instances where I've gotten into a NASDAQ trade or a micro NASDAQ trade and within literal seconds hit my profit target because the market jumped so quickly that I could have never done that if I was putting them in by hand. Now, yes, you can use your own ATM strategies. That's fine. However, the software that we built is built around the methodology. So not only does it make you more accurate of a trader, it'll help you with your risk management. And then you could put it on, say you're trading 5 prop accounts and you want to trade all of them the MNQ and you have all 5 MNQs lined up. You could put the software on each one of those accounts at the same time and trigger it on at the same time. It makes you more efficient. So you can watch multiple accounts, multiple markets all at one time. So if you go in those 3 examples, there was 2 of those trades that Scott was probably in simultaneously because they happened within minutes of each other. 2 different markets. Now, you could have your head on a swivel and trade them manually, but let's say there's 4 markets that you're looking at and all 4 of them are valid with trades at the same time and you have a prop account or you have 3 prop accounts and you want to trade 3 of them on one, 3 of them on another and change it up, you can't do that manually. It's too hard. Software will make your life so much easier. Now, the trading program in itself, we call it the modified market profile. I'd say that from just how simple it is, you will learn how to qualify a trade, or you can learn it within a week. The biggest issue that most people have is the consistent application of what they're learning in that trade and not getting in their own way or taking things that they've learned along the way and trying to incorporate another method in with this method. Okay. We can teach people how to get funded and how to stay funded quickly if you want, or take as long as you want. But in all regards, I mean, you can basically get to this point, in my opinion, in 6 months or less, where you're trading multiple accounts for profit. Period. You could probably get there sooner than that, but if you're working full time, we assume that most people are either working part time, full time, right? You're not trading full time. You're not spending all your waking time learning something new, right? You have a life, right? So that 3 to 6 month window is very critical if you want to learn how to manage multiple trading accounts. We've seen people do it sooner, but I will tell you the norm, probably closer to 6 months for most people. Pat, would you agree with that?
I would absolutely agree with that. And some people, yeah, you're going to have these unicorns that can
Yep.
absolutely do it. But
So
let me explain something to everybody. You're not competing against somebody else. You're doing what you can do. The only thing that matters is what works for you only. The moment you start comparing yourself to somebody else, you're going to lose because you don't know what their situation is. You don't know their discipline. You don't know how much time they have to devote to it. You don't know if they just do exactly what I said. I can tell you guys unequivocally, my women are the absolute best traders I have. They do exactly what I tell them to do. The guys, the biggest pains in the asses in the world because they're always fighting me because they've always got to be right. And what's happening when somebody like Tiffany is putting up four out of four, 5 out of 5, 6 out of 6 on a day, and other people just want to sit there fighting me? The joke's on you.
Yeah. Because what's your goal? What's everybody's goal?
It's to make money. If you're here to be right,
Yeah.
the only way you can be right is by making money. And it's
Yeah.
not going to be by fighting me.
Yeah. And if you were already right making money, you probably wouldn't be here. So at the end of the day, it is a very learnable, repeatable system. You just have to get out of your own way. Now, the technology and the efficiency and stuff like that, full disclosure, the first probably week or two that you're kind of thrown into this, it's gonna feel like drinking water through a fire hose, right? Um, give it time. It's every passing day it gets a little bit easier. Uh, so like if you're gonna try and judge this off of 1 month, then I'm gonna tell you right now, don't waste your time because it's gonna take longer than a month. If you're in a position where you need to do this tomorrow to be able to make money to pay your bills next week or at the end of the month, don't do this because you're gonna have a whole different level of pressure that you don't need to throw into it. If you have a few $1,000s to your name and you have a little bit of experience, right? We can help you get there, but here's what we don't want to do. We don't want you to have to sit down at the kitchen table and explain to your wife why you can't pay your car or your mortgage, right? You need to be in a position financially. And if it's not you, hey, listen, timing is everything. We understand it. We're not going to pressure you into doing something. We're just going to present you with the opportunity. Whether you walk through that door and take it is completely up to you. Um, Pat, anything you want to add?
Yeah, there's something that I would like to add. It's not just the money component. It takes time to build habits to do these things correctly. Everybody's different. Again, some people take longer, some people take not as long. Do I have any doctors in the room? Any surgeons in the room? And if I don't, that's
Or
fine.
engineers?
Engineers, okay? Do you want to go
We
on
are
a
including
bridge?
dentists too, by the way.
Do you want to travel over a bridge that some guy is in his first month of engineering school built? Do you want a guy who in his first year of med school is going to remove your freaking spleen? No, you don't. So you have all
Right.
these people, and all of you, I'm assuming, have probably been pretty successful in what you've done to this point. This would be like me going into your world being a lawyer, trying a case because I just walked in there and said I'm a lawyer. You're not going to walk into this business and start making crazy money because you said so. It goes against every single thing that you think makes sense and is logical. You've got to take yourself out of that picture and you've got to put yourself in this environment where you're focusing only on specific things and nothing else. You make it, you keep it, you leave.
Yep.
That's it. Wash, rinse, repeat. That's this life.
So I'm gonna skip ahead just because we talked about a lot of this as we were going through this. Couple things to really take into consideration. So the time availability, it doesn't matter if you work a full-time job. Most prop firms will allow you to trade the overnight session or the pre-market. You just can't be in a trade through the open or through the close. Okay. So no matter what you're doing, no matter what if you're out on a farm all day long or if you're in a hospital all day long, doesn't matter, anywhere in between, there is an opportunity to trade and to pass evals. Okay. But you have to understand that in order to get good at something, you do have to put the time in and you have to have some pretty clear defined goals. The nice thing about the prop trading is that they present you with goals that you have to hit. You just have to figure out how you're going to hit them, and then that's where we come in because we're going to tell you how to hit them, right? So you have to just make up your mind and create a goal for yourself that you're either going to move forward and you're going to take this full throttle, and if not, then walk away because it is hard enough to do this without or with all the other distractions that you have in life. So if you're going to go down this road, take it seriously and really learn. You'll spend more money trying to learn on your own than if you just signed up for a program and learned how to do it the right way the first time. Does that make sense?
And Steve, I responded to what you had said. There's a lot of rinse and repeat trades as we get stuck in ranges. I am literally on that microphone the vast majority of the day telling you you are stuck in a range. There is nothing here. Do not do anything until we get to here or to here. Literally all freaking day long. That's what I do.
So, for those of you who, how many people in this room have been prop trading for a while? Or have prop traded multiple accounts? And how many of you, if you're brand new to prop trading, put a number one. If you've traded a while, yes, put yes. Um, just curious, of those of you that have been prop trading for a while, does anyone in here use a copy trader? Or any sort of trade assist software? Or did you build your own ATM strategies, right? You're doing all the right things. You're trying to find all the right tools. Just know that sometimes you can go into information overload if you don't have the right tools at the right time. So the Trade Assist software that we use, that we built, helps with your learning process because it is built around the method. So you're learning the method and how to use the trading tool at the same time. And then you could take that same trading tool and put it on multiple charts, and it works the same way across all of them. They're actually fine-tuned to the individual markets and the reward to risk. Okay? So the whole point of me saying that is because we built tools to make your life easier that work hand in hand with the process that you're learning when you go through our program. Okay? Now, as far as the program, you heard me say that time and time again. We say program because it's not a class. Some people want to treat it like a class, but this is really a skill set that once you learn how to do it, you're gonna be able to basically come and go as you please. The way that you learn this is a combination of efforts. So the daily trade room that Pat's talking about, where he's on the mic, he's going to go over examples. He's going to review other people's trades. He's going to review your trades. He's going to tell you where there's issues, when to stay out of a trade sometimes. We also do a general classroom at night, Monday and Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time, where we're going through the method and different trades. Okay. There's also a Saturday class. The reason why I bring all that up is because the first 100 trade review process is what we call it is you're going to take a trade, you're going to take a screenshot, including your P&L, you're going to send it in, and Pat's going to give you feedback on that trade. You're going to get better with every single trade. Once you demonstrate a level of proficiency with the reversals, you're going to learn the inverse trade, which is just like a reversal, just what happens outside of an HVA. Then you're going to get into the gap fill and money management, and you're going to learn how to keep what you make, right? It's all a process that you move step by step through. The way we hold you accountable are these right here, trader checkups, where you're going to get a call from us to check in on you to make sure that you're doing your part. You're also going to have access to a campus library where you're going to be able to go through reading material and some videos to kind of get you up to speed. The whole idea, though, is you're not sitting in front of your computer just thumbing through a campus library and a bunch of old videos to learn how to do this. You're learning how to do this by taking the trades and getting them addressed in a live environment or talking with Patrick on a semi-regular basis to learn how to fix mistakes that you made or learn from other people's mistakes. It's not go off to some campus somewhere off site, try to learn something and regurgitate it hours later or days later in front of a computer. Do this all from the computer at home that you learn on. So that way, with every trade you send it in, you get instant feedback. The trade reviews, the checkups, the campus library, It's all there to help you get this as fast as you want to get it. If you do not interact with us, like when we call you or with Pat when he's reviewing your trades, it's going to be hard to advance and to move forward. Just plain and simple. All right. So you keep hearing me talk about the program and the software. So we have a program called Prop Trader Accelerator. A lot of our students are using this, are making quite a bit of cash. And that's exactly why you're here. That's everything that I just went over with the classroom and the campus library. But you get the auto HVA download, you get the executioner, which does reversals and inverses, and they can be auto traded. The live trading room, there's a small group, that's usually there on Fridays that Patrick's talking to, or if you have something specific to your prop trading, Patrick will go over it with you. And then the campus library. The ramp up classes are those night classes Monday and Tuesday, and then Saturday you're doing those at noon, right, Patrick?
The mentor programs are for every
The
6
ramp up
weeks.
class.
The ramp up class is Monday night, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And then you were doing a Saturday class for a while too.
But I'm doing Saturday classes, which are the mentor programs.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Mhm.
So either way, there's multiple days, 5 days a week, 2 nights a week. There's a lot of time that we're going to invest in you, as long as you're willing to invest that time in you as well. Okay. The trade review program is just every trade that you send in, you're going to get feedback on, no matter what level you are. We have people who send in live trades that still want the feedback. See, the environment is like a small cohort. You're in a live room with a bunch of other people who are trying to do the same thing you're doing. So when you have questions, you throw it out there. Sometimes Pat may not see it right away, or somebody else may say, "Hey, I had that same issue. Here's what you need to do." Plain and simple. We also have another software called the Da Vinci, which we'll get into at a later date when we go over our last seminar in this series is going to go over all the software in one and how they all work. But that covers gap fills and trending entries. So right now we have a 12-month prop trader accelerator. As you can see there, is $5,000. Okay, that's using the coupon code WEB1500. Normally $6,500 for the full year. We do have financing with that available, which was $3,500 down and $350 a month, which was $7,350 a year. But to get it all in one shot, you're going to save about $2,350. Okay. We're also offering for the first time ever, we've never had a 6-month prop trader accelerator. You can actually sign up for a 6-month program for only $2,500. And the best part is if you sign up for the 6-month at $2,500 and you want to convert it to a year, you pay the difference of $2,500 towards that $5,000. So you pay a remaining $2,500 and you'll get the full year. You just don't have to commit to the full year up front. I'm going to post in the chat if everybody sees the link. If you want to sign up for that program, just understand you need to have NinjaTrader in order to use the tools, the Auto HVA and the Executioner. If you do not use NinjaTrader, this is not for you. Okay? Doesn't mean that you can't come on board another way. We have ways where you can come on just learning. Sign up for the room. If you want to sign up for the room only, and you want to talk to me one-on-one, I already posted my calendar link. I'm going to post it again. Schedule time with me and we'll go over the other options with you that do not include software. Okay? Um, so we don't Ninja, you can do your own test drive on Ninja software. But we don't give away our software because we know it works. We've been using it for years and we have hundreds of people that use it. So the test drive is a 6-month test drive. Like I said, you're learning the method, including how to use the software as part of the program. And we've already showed you examples from today of people who have been using the software. And actually, there's quite a few people who are in this webinar that are existing students that use the webinar. That if you guys want to or use the software, if you want to chime in the chat, you can. If you're listening still. At the end of the day, the 6-month would be your test drive, but you're going to have skin in the game, right? So the 12-month program at 5,000 when you click on the link, it's going to show up as 6,500. You need to use coupon code WEB1500. Now, I know what you're thinking. That coupon code will only work with the 12-month, the 1-year offer. It will not work on that 6-month offer. So you're not getting the 6-month for, 2,500 less 1,500. So don't even try it. So, as far as the software is concerned, the auto trade type setting, or anyone that signs up with it, I will work with you, or we have our developer who developed the software, who was a longtime Patrick student. His mom was a student. He developed the software originally for himself to get consistent with trading, and he did such a good job. We contracted him out to develop more software. The software has been operating now for what, 2 years, Patrick? And he used it for
Longer
two
than
years
that. Yeah.
before that on his own.
Yeah. Yeah. Longer than that. His
And
mother, by the way, is still a client. She was in the room today.
yeah, she's in the room every day. She's been with us for, well, she's known you for what, 10, 12 years now?
Probably as long as Jose, probably around the 12-year mark.
So with the Prop Trader Accelerating program, you get software, the Auto HVA download, which will plot your high volume areas, the Executioner software, which will basically do the trade for you in auto trade mode. We ask that when you first set it up, um, there's a manual function. We want you to get used to how it works, right? So you could put it in auto trade and just watch it in sim, and you can see how it works before you try to use it in your prop account. But you'll see how it triggers, but you're going to learn the triggers along the way. And though it's all part of the method. And then the campus library and the trading room and the night classes, all that is part of this 6-month program or this 1-year program. To put it in perspective, last week we did a new member sign up for only $99 a month. That's the room only. Okay. $99 a month. I'm actually going to post that link. I wasn't originally going to do that with part of this webinar, but I'm going to do that today. So if you don't want to go right to the software, if you just want to go into the live trading room and check out the student trades and what Pat does on a day-to-day basis, then sign up for the $99 a month program with the link that I just posted. Because what that'll do is it'll show you every day, and you'll see the winners, losers, break even. Hell, go to our YouTube page and go back to, a couple years ago and look at every video that we've posted from, the beginning of 24 or till now, and you'll see the wins, loss, and break even trades, and you'll see some of them are stamped with executioner. You'll see people have been using these software to trade either their own money or prop trading for a long time. So does anybody have any questions? I know I just went through a lot of different stuff for myself or for Patrick, and I'll post my link if you want to schedule one-on-one time with me to go over this, if you don't want to ask a question in the room. Do we have any questions? Scott, I see you posted a comment
Mark,
in the question
moving away
comment.
from Ninja Trader to Wealth Chart since I have a lot of crashes, lags, and freezes with Ninja, and their support is now an AI agent. Already have to clear databases every couple of weeks. Then I send all my strategies go away. I'm sorry to hear that, Mark, because I have not had that problem. And I completely agree with you about how Ninja Trader has definitely lost a step in customer service. Absolutely. Okay. But I have not had that problem. Maybe it's something else, possibly.
I haven't either. Did you recently upgrade? Because they did launch a new update too, and usually I wait till they force you to update because when they do that is usually when you see the most issues.
And
But
Steve, thank you very, very much. It was our pleasure.
yeah, appreciate it, Steve. Thanks for coming. So, any other questions? I see there's still quite a few people that are in the webinar. Or any other links that you want me to post without having to scroll back?
Yeah, still getting errors on the upgrade, but consistent problems regardless.
Are you using a laptop or a desktop computer, Mark?
I
Because
would also tell you the upgrade's probably the problem.
yeah.
I never update NinjaTrader whenever it asks me.
Yeah, I always wait till it forces me to. So, okay, so laptop, are you Wi-Fi or are you hardwired? Because I know nowadays you gotta, I mean, good luck trying to find a laptop that has an Ethernet attachment. We don't have a copy trader here.
Scott, but
We have the
tomorrow,
software.
and by the way, those were Scott's trades that you saw doing over $900 today.
Right.
Scott, when you're in the room tomorrow, we can probably help you. Um, we can ask which students are using which prop accounts and which trade copiers work best on them because it's sort of an art and a science. One trade copier does not necessarily work great with one. If you've got more than 5 accounts on another prop firm, it doesn't work very well. So there's a little bit to this.
Yep. Excuse me. Um, yeah, I if you got a hardwired 64 RAM, I mean that's a lot of RAM on a laptop. So at the end of the day, I appreciate everybody from, you know, this webinar, the previous webinar for signing up, taking the time out of your day to come hear us out. If you are interested in scheduling an appointment with me, right? You have additional questions that come up. Save this link, okay? And then I'm gonna post the coupon code and the 1 year link for the Prop Trader Accelerator. Just so you know, these promos for the $1,500 off that and to get the year for a $5,000 price point or 2,500 for 6 months, these promos are only going to be good through Friday. Okay, so I'm not saying you have to sign up today. So if you have any reservations or questions, schedule time with me between now and Friday, or say tomorrow and Friday afternoon, and get them answered. Because once these promos are gone, we're not going to offer them again just because you were in this webinar. They're good till Friday. We're going to hold them till Friday. Okay? So, any questions, but I'm going to that you have, but I'm going to post the link for the full year, and then here's the coupon code that you have to type in as is. It's web 1500. So you don't have to do the CC, but web 1500. So when you click on that link, it'll take you to the back end. Anyone that signs up, we will reach out to you directly. We'll help get your charge configured to the method, the software added, and then before we get off the phone, we're going to make sure everything works properly. And then you're going to hit the ground running. Pat, do you have anything that you want to add last minute?
I just want to thank everybody for their time. I understand your time is valuable. We do everything we possibly can to give value for your time. Any questions, guys? I am always free to answer your questions. I'm happy to help you anytime that I can. So thank you very much. John, you're very welcome.
Yep.
As
You
the
guys have
usual,
a wonderful night. You'll see I'll leave this running for a few more minutes. My phone number is on the screen as well. You can call or text me to that number. Just say, hey, I was in the webinar. I have some additional questions, or click on the link and schedule. It'll take you right to my calendar, and you can schedule a 15-minute call with myself or 20 minutes.
Mark, you're welcome. And by the way, let's just say you are on wealth charts. You can do every single thing that I do in my method manually.
Yep. You can sign up for the room by itself. Even
Exactly. You'll
and
get the
it's a
HVA
month to month.
levels. You can get everything.
Yep, month to month right now. I'm giving you guys the same offer that to just try it out for a month. It's only going to cost you $99. If you want to stay, you got to do everything manually or use whatever other charts. We don't care if you're on Thinkorswim, whatever you're trading futures on. Just understand that, there's other options out there in terms of software if you're on NinjaTrader. So we understand not everybody uses NinjaTrader. That's fine. Not everybody prop trades. That's fine too. All right, everybody. You guys have a great rest of your night. I don't see any other hands up or any questions that came through. Scott,
You're
Steve,
welcome, John.
John, you guys thanks. And we will see you next week, Wednesday. We are doing another webinar. It is same time. You'll see an email go out as well. Trade room is open from market open till market close. Actually, Patrick's in there before the market opens.
I'm in there at the open before the open of gold at 8 a.m. We're on till about 11:30, 12 noon Eastern. We break off from noon to 3, then we're back for the end of the day, but I'm usually back in and around the room at about 1:30 or 2 o'clock
Yep, and that's Eastern time zone.
Eastern time.
So it's Monday through Friday, unless there's a holiday on Friday, like where the market's only open a half a day. So for all, and then don't forget too, with that $99 price point, you actually will get access to the campus library and the night classes as well. So it's everything but the software that we went over today. Cool. All right. Any other questions before we end this? I don't see anything else. You guys, I appreciate you being here. You guys have a wonderful rest of your night.
Thank you very much, guys. See ya.